Let's do it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Weeknights during the day. Weeknights on a Friday morning.
Telling the secrets.
Well, first of all, your background is mad bright, and so is mine. And so they
Oh, but it's
they
bright
will
because
be able
I
to
remembered
tell.
to turn on my ring light today.
Oh, okay, because it looked like, sunny day.
Or maybe it's just my natural glow.
Yeah, could be that.
Could be that. Yep.
All right. I am JD, aka He Who Pods. Glasses on this morning.
Oh,
So also rear view mirror. I don't know what you were saying or doing. But
sorry. Doesn't matter.
just just not
Mm,
letting me introduce myself.
I was prematurely introducing myself.
Too much energy on a Friday morning. Calm down.
Yeah.
Now is the time to introduce yourselves.
I'm Dash, aka Dashing D, aka the real king of R&B.
AKA sipping on some syrup. Sipping on some
Right.
sipping on some syrup.
On that good stuff, okay?
All right, let's get this pod started.
Let's get this party started, right?
This nigga is wildin' at a very early time in the morning, and I'm the one who's been up for hours and hours and hours.
That's why I have so much energy, because usually I'm the one who's been up for hours and hours when we
That's
pod
true. You're right. The roles
right
are reversed today.
today.
All right, so let's talk about it. I did not say press play Instagram. Thank you very much. Mm, mm, mm. So, Dwayne The Rock Johnson has a new movie coming out, and we saw the trailer. Excuse me. This is from Entertainment Tonight. It reads WWE alum Dwayne The Rock Johnson is back in the ring, but this time he's portraying real life UFC fighter Mark Kerr in Benny Safdie's film The Smashing Machine. In this emotional first trailer for the film, which was co-written by Kerr
Is that
and
Diddy's
Safdie.
escort to the courthouse? Sorry. Doesn't his trial start today?
In the emotional first trailer for the film,
All right.
which was co-written by Kerr and Safdie, Johnson undergoes his most dramatic transformation for a role as he shows the ups and downs Kerr endured as a mixed martial arts and UFC champion. Emily Blunt takes on the role. Dawn Staples, they forgot the word of, Kerr's romantic partner throughout his career. The Smashing Machine will be in theaters October 3rd.
This looks interesting.
Yes, it does.
And The Rock looks like, he did his thing preparing for this role. Like this well
I mean, he
between
looks like he has a good wig on.
between I was gonna say between him and costume design and all of that, it looks like this looks interesting. Looks
It
like
does.
he's really embodying his character. I'm not familiar with the person he's playing, so I can't I haven't fact checked that, but it looks like he's in character,
Yeah.
you know, which I always think is cool. Um,
Yes.
it looks interesting. I would watch that. I mean, I'm not really MMA is a little different and outside of my lane. I don't like the blood flying and the sweat flying. That's not really my thing. So I don't watch like fighting a lot, but this looks interesting. I would watch this.
I'm gonna watch this, and largely because I like UFC, and I think The Rock is cool. But largely, I'm gonna watch this because the man who the movie's about is involved in the film, and that make me feel like,
Yeah.
all right, well then it can't. You're not gonna let it be a complete piece of shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to let them just do whatever with your life story.
This is true.
So yeah, and I like that in the trailer they show it's the early days. He's like bloodied up and beat up in the waiting area at the hospital, could barely open his eye.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking and the person's like, "You look like you got really messed up."
Yeah.
He's like, "Have you heard of Ultimate Fighting Championship?" And they're like,
Is that what it stands for?
"Yes." And he says that
Oh.
and the woman says, "You isn't that the thing they're trying to ban right now?" He's just there all busted. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, looks good.
I I never knew it stood for Ultimate Fighting Championship.
Oh, am I wrong? I mean,
No, I don't think you're wrong. I mean, I wouldn't know, but I just never knew what it stood for. I just knew that it was UFC.
Ultimate Fighting Championship. Yeah.
Did I say MMA?
MMA is the style of fighting,
Okay, I'm just
which
making sure.
is mixed martial arts.
Okay, yes, that I knew. I just didn't
Yes.
know
And
Ultimate.
them people are the most dangerous people on the planet.
Oh, I believe that. I believe
And
that.
the more dangerous part is if you don't look at their ears, you won't know that they can kill you like this.
I know the ear thing. I do know the ear thing. Look at me knowing a little
Called
bit of things.
cauliflower ear.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
I'm learning things today.
You know, I teach, you know.
All right.
El
Thanks.
profesor.
You're going to check your Duolingo at the door. Okay?
Don't be mad, okay? Don't be mad, okay? Now, something that we should all sing and rejoice about is Fantasia put out an announcement.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna play it, but there's not much to play. It's like one sentence and then a bunch of music.
We can just talk about it.
Um, Fantasia has announced she's dropping a gospel album. She is doing a gospel album, and a gospel album is coming soon. I didn't see a date. No, man, I didn't ask you to play that shit. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Instagram, we not having a good time this morning. Um,
You say you don't see a date?
I do not.
It has
But
a, ti-
you got one?
it has a title. You have the title?
No.
It's called I've Been Running.
Oh, that's why they said she's not running anymore. Okay.
Yeah, that's according to
I
Vibe.
see what they did there. News guys. So yeah, Fantasia says, quote, God has been telling me to do a gospel album for years, and I've been running. I want to give my father, who's been so good to me, back what he deserves.
When she says my father, is she talking about like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit?
Um, I believe so, yes.
Oh.
I believe so. I could be wrong. And they'll tell us in the comments if I'm wrong. But that's my understanding, yes.
I mean, no disrespect. I just, it just caught me off guard. I was like, wait, am I thinking of the right father?
You are.
Because when I say my father, like, I mean my daddy that gave me the chromosomes. So I just, like,
Some would argue this is who gave you the chromosomes.
all right. Anyway, so,
Because without him, nothing is possible.
all right. When I say my father, I mean my daddy. Like, the physical man who gave me life
But without the
and gave me my
Lord,
last name and all of those things. Like, that's why I was confused, because my mind immediately goes to the man who gave me life.
this is who gave you life.
All right. Stop. Please. Let's move on. Good. Oh, congratulations to
I'm about to
Fantasia.
say you
I
don't
think
got
this
no
is.
thoughts on this.
No, I think this is great. Listen, a gospel album from
Because I
Fantasia.
didn't get to share thoughts neither. You just was like, all right, we
I'm
out.
sorry. I'm
I
sorry.
rebuke this topic.
They're gonna somebody one day, if we get famous, somebody's gonna make a compilation of the amount of times I moved on from a topic without letting you speak about it. It's not good. It's just I get distracted. Um no, this is wonderful. Fantasia's voice is made for gospel as far as I'm concerned.
And on top of that, in the video, she's got a whole choir of people in there singing with her. This about to sound like clean your crib and blast it on the speakers.
Right. Like
You know what I'm saying?
get my mom some new Sunday music. She be playing the
Yeah.
same old tunes.
Never would have paid it.
All right. All right.
Wait, I want to see, when did Fantasia last drop something? I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
Was it 87?
All right. The year we
Okay, all
were
right, all
born.
right, all right, all right. I don't want no beef. It says here she dropped an album in 2021 called Isla de Providencia. This ain't the same Fantasia. No, this is a group. This ain't Fantasia. I'm like, wait a minute. Fantasia dropped a Spanish album on niggas?
No,
Wait,
it's
but
just that your algorithm now that you're speaking Spanish all the time.
no, it comes up with her music for some reason.
Oh,
That was
I don't
cute.
know.
That was a cute joke, though. I see what you tried to do to me right there.
Yep, I did. No, I did
Oh
it.
man, Fantasia need to sue these guys. Her last project was called Sketchbook. It was released in 2019.
Uh-huh.
12 songs, 44 minutes, and T-Pain was on it. He was on a song called PTSD. I didn't know that.
Hmm.
So that's good. But listen, man, always happy to see Fantasia doing her thing. Um,
Yeah.
oh, is the first single out? Oh, the first single
I think
dropped.
it is. Yeah. I
It's
haven't
called
listened to
"Have
it
Your
yet.
Way." Oh,
Yeah.
we slacking. Why we didn't listen to this 7-minute song?
I 7 minutes.
6 minutes and 54 seconds,
Although I'm not reviewing gospel. That's the Lord's music and they can
and
have
we
it.
ain't got no place reviewing
Yep.
that music.
We have the heathens
Nope.
on this podcast don't have any place to judge gospel music, so we
And that's
won't.
why we didn't review Will Smith's album. You know what I'm saying?
Which did you hear how poorly Will Smith's album did?
I
We
did
didn't
not,
talk
but
about it.
perhaps it should be a topic on Monday
It should. I just felt like we should.
or Tuesday or
Yeah, I was a
sometime
little
next week.
concerned about talking about that topic, but yeah, we could talk about it. We can talk about it next week.
I'm happy for Fantasia. I look forward to seeing what this sounds like. You good? You got
Hmm.
a lot of
Yeah.
next stuff going on over there.
Can we pause for a second?
Yeah, so Fantasia. It's a good look for Fantasia, and
Yeah.
you know, doing the Lord's work is always a beautiful thing. And I'm not being sarcastic when I say that. I think anytime people are moved by the Lord to do these types of things, it's a great thing. I'm not being sarcastic, honest. I know we
Yeah.
just called ourselves heathens and said we won't review it. So I just want to make sure people understand I'm not being sarcastic
Right. And
because I
and
know
and
I know I got a rep in these streets.
and for what it's worth, we're not trying to be disrespectful in any way. Like it's just, I think it's great, and I don't have a problem with gospel music. I said I think it was just yesterday that you have to be open to all genres. There is gospel music that's great that I love hearing. So it's not
Makes me want to dance,
any.
make me clap my hands and stomp.
Remember when you used to touch the dresses in my closet? I'm gonna. You know
When we did
what?
that other show,
We should do like a flashback Friday. I'm gonna find that and post that to Instagram.
you should.
Those were fun times. Um,
Every time you would say some wild shit, I'd just be like,
right. What I should have done, and you know what I should have done today? I should have worn my leopard coat.
you would
Um,
have died in this 80-degree heat.
since I'm a pimp,
Oh yeah, listen, Dashing D
that's
is a
how I should
pimp.
have showed up today. I'm
Yo,
probably
you
gonna
being
show
a
up like
pimp
that next
following the
pod.
Fantasia gospel album is wild. That's why.
Multifaceted,
That's
well-rounded weeknights hosts.
amen.
There we go. I don't even remember what I was saying. We can move on.
We can. We ain't talking about shit this episode.
No, not really.
We just here for the vibes today.
Oh yeah, listen. In the morning,
Oh, go
it's
ahead.
just
What you was gonna
vibes.
say? It's just
It's
vibes.
just
Yeah, it's
vibes.
fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. This ain't nothing special for y'all.
No.
But here is something special for y'all. Here's some audio. Oh, I turned off my volume. Whoops.
I hear that you two have a big announcement. Well, the people always want more. Yes. And so Erica and I and Heartbeat have teamed up to give you more. How about the ReLiving Single podcast?
Ow.
May 7th on Heartbeat and all the places where you find your podcasts. And on YouTube. So are you gonna have like all of the old cast and everything? Are we gonna find out what about like what's going on with Overton and Kyle? Okay. We have actually already done an interview with one of the castmates. I can't tell you who, but I'll just say smooches. That's all I'm saying. We have these rewatch podcasts. They always lead to reboots. So Erica and Kim, are y'all ready to get the gang back together again?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right, and I paused it just to say they do not always lead to reboots and spin-offs. But
No, and and and, and they try. Oh,
oh,
there's more.
yes, but go ahead.
I was gonna say, and they tried like after the show was changed and ending, they tried to keep it going, and it was weird. Like that final season of Living Single is weird. After Regine moves out, um, Queen Khadijah leaves, and everybody else is left, and Overton and Sinclair are married. It gets weird.
I take your word for it.
They moved in the guy, I forget his name, he had a woman's name, I think it was Tracy or Stacy or something like that. They move in the guy, he becomes their new roommate, and it's just weird.
Gotcha.
Am I making up that Khadijah left? I don't know, but it was, I think it was that Khadijah left, and Regine moved out, and then it was weird because like the move out wasn't great. Anyway, whatever.
I'd like to see a reboot. I'm just stroking my chin hair. I'm not really thinking. Would y'all like to do a reboot and have the gang back together? I would say yes, because I think we all still look good. So yes. That's my very shallow reasoning. And because we all still love each other, and there's still a beautiful chemistry that will never die. So I would say yes if the opportunity presented itself. Okay, well y'all got to post where we got to write, who we got to march. And I think it's a good reason for y'all to come and listen to the podcast to find out. We do all the behind the scenes, like things that you've never heard before, and also things that we're revealing to each other that we didn't know at the time. So there's like there's tears and joy and all the things. Oh, we're going to be listening. Yes, we will.
All right, so that's a clip from the Sherry show.
Yeah, which I don't care for, but that's
I
where
just said where it came from. I didn't.
No, I know because
I
I'm the
didn't.
one.
I didn't say buy stock in the company or anything like that.
I'm only saying that because I'm the person who shared it.
That's the job, right?
It's exactly my point. It's the job.
Yeah, you did your job.
For her.
Anyway, what do you think about this podcast happening? Are you interested? Are you gonna rewatch?
Oh, I always rewatch. So that Living Single is like one of my comfort shows. It's also one of my I can fall asleep to this show. Even though I don't do a whole lot of that these days. I find as I get older, I don't need the TV to fall asleep or anything like that. I just turning the lights off works.
Wow, wonders.
I mean,
that's what I be telling my kid.
Novel idea.
I'm like, if you turn off the light and put your phone away, I bet you will be sleeping in about 10 minutes tops.
Right. And you be like, oh, I'm going to have insomnia. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because you're old and you got a lot on your head already.
That's it.
And you've been working all day.
Working.
And now you're exhausted. So.
Exhausted.
Sleep just
comes.
Night,
nigga.
Exactly.
Back to the show.
So Yes. So I'm constantly watching Living Single episodes.
Okay.
I like to jump around a little bit and watch like certain seasons or certain episodes that I like at this point.
It's your jam.
So yeah, it's one of those shows for me. I have like, I
You
don't know.
mentioned it when we had the Disney Plus and streaming conversation as well.
Right, yeah. So that's one of my shows, like that, Golden Girls, A Different World. There's a few of them. So we don't need a reboot. We don't need a reboot.
She also said the wrong word. A reboot means starting over.
Right, I agree. But again,
She meant like a spin-off or
she meant
something
a
of that
spin-off
nature.
or some sort of sequel, some sort of
Sequel,
continuation
right,
to
exactly. That's what she
now.
meant.
Living Single was a very specific concept,
Yes.
which is why we know those other people stole it. But Living Single is a very specific.
Never mind.
Tell me, please.
I heard the same debate on a podcast a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say the name of the podcast, but a doctor
We know the
said,
podcast you watch.
but a doctor said it's a false narrative. And when he was asked why, he said lots of shows have done that concept, both before and after. So the fact that people compare the famous black show to the famous white show is actually a false equivalent, because it's not about black or white or who did it first. Because if the conversation is truly who did it first, none of them did it first. And I thought that was really interesting. They asked him, what show did it first? He said a lot of them, but just one that happened in our lifetime that we can remember and we know well is Three's Company. And it started a big argument because some people said that was true and some people felt it was not true.
Which I love as well, by the way.
Yeah, because some people said, yes, it was single friends living together. And other people said, no, it was one guy trying to have sex with two women.
Yeah, the concept I think was with Three's Company was a little bit more layered than just three friends living together. I agree with that. But I think the thing that is missing here is that we see this happen with a lot of shows. Like even, let's take Grey's Anatomy, for example. Grey's Anatomy is not the first. Well, today it seems like it because it's been on for a million seasons. But Grey's Anatomy was not the first.
Maybe it's not the first, but it is the show.
It is the medical drama, right? But so Grey's Anatomy is not the first medical drama to happen on television. It's probably the biggest at this point. And there were medical dramas.
It was what, ER first, right?
Yes, which ER is actually, we should talk about ER next week. ER
because they're suing HBO for The Pit.
Yeah. But so there was ER, and I remember when ER was on, because
ER was hot in these streets.
ER was hot in the streets. And then there's shows that have come after it. I even asked somebody yesterday about Chicago Med, because the Chicago series, Dick Wolf has this whole universe that he's got going on, which I think is pretty incredible. But Chicago Med is one of the medical dramas. I know, I see your face. I'm going off on a tangent. I'm going somewhere with this.
No, you went from one tangent to a whole nother tangent to a whole nother tangent. But go ahead.
So my point,
I'm gonna let you cook.
My point here is, yes, that happens with all concepts, right? When you're talking about movies, TV, books, it happens everywhere. I think the thing that's missing in that conversation, I think we're having a specific conversation about something that was happening at a specific time, and something that was created, something that appears to have been created to mirror what existed. It's not to say that the concept, so maybe I was wrong at the beginning of this conversation by saying the concept was stolen. Maybe concept is not the right word, but it appears that show mirrors what was happening on this show. And I think that was with intention, because I think
I'm sorry, but I have to disagree. I just looked up when they both came out. They came out a year apart.
Which one came out first?
Living Single by months. Like,
Okay.
shows you like to say all the time, and I agree. You like to say all the time, these things don't just come together in a day.
Pilots get filmed
Shopped around.
way before the rest of the show gets filmed.
Okay.
So
I wasn't there, so I can't argue that.
I'm just saying, pilots get filmed. So think about it this way: each network often has a show that is some sort of response to another show, right? So
I don't know if I'm rolling with that.
think about it.
Give me examples.
Okay, so something that was a spinoff of Grey's Anatomy was Station 19. It was a show about firefighters. Then all of a sudden, Chicago Fire shows up on the scene. Either or one of them came first. I don't want to say that it was Station 19.
But what about in the 90s? First. What was doing that in the 90s? Besides Living Single and Friends, because that's our debate. So give me another example of this.
I'd have to look. I don't have that readily available. I can't recall every show that happened in the 90s.
But you said it happened often, so give me some examples. I know in the comments they're gonna wild out with examples, but
right. But you're asking me specifically for an example in the 90s, and I'm right now. I just don't.
Okay, so the example that comes to mind because we were talking about the 90s, but it's fine. Your example is the fire shows.
What I'm saying is each network has a fire show now.
Uh-huh.
NBC has one, CBS has one, ABC has one. Station 19 got canceled, but
you said it's called Chicago Fire.
There's a Chicago Fire. I think Chicago Fire might have actually come first.
Chicago Fire came out in 2012. Right. Station 19 came out in 2019.
Right. So Station 19, I believe, was like, oh, look at what they're doing over there.
Because 2018, I'm sorry.
Because then they built this whole... And the reason I use these as examples is because with Chicago Fire, there's also... Like I said, Dick Wolf is building this universe. So there's Chicago Fire, then there was Chicago PD, and then there was Chicago Med. They do this crossover thing. ABC was doing a very similar thing with Grey's Anatomy and Station 19.
Got it.
And then I think CBS had 911, and 911 was like a hybrid of all three. 911, you got EMS, you got you got firefighters, and you got police.
Got it.
So you understand? You get what I'm saying?
Yes. Now back to the original topic.
All right, and we can cut this out if that was too.
No, why? I thought it was fine.
But
you always want to cut everything. Calm down.
Because if it didn't make sense, and if I went on a tangent that didn't make sense, I don't want to put...
Niggas go on tangents. There's this thing called podcasts. I don't know if you heard of them, but on podcasts, people go on tangents all the time.
Okay. I just don't want the point to get lost, is why I'm saying that.
Yeah, we had a whole side conversation, and I hear you. And that's cool. I'm just bringing us back to the original topic now. That's all.
Right.
Where's a white flag? Let me wave something. Hold on.
All right. So anyway.
Yeah, I know I have white flags on deck. You know what I'm saying?
What is wrong with you? Please. Please! Stop being ridiculous.
I almost responded in Spanish.
Don't! You see?
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm sorry. Serious. Okay. Living Single Rewatch podcast.
The point here is not about that other show. The point is about this show. The point is that this show does not need to be does not need to be rebooted. And the
Continued or
reason
retold.
why is because I would prefer a show like it, which probably already exists, but I would prefer a show like it that exists on its own. I don't need the 50-year-old cast to return to try to get that old thing back. I think we got to give it up. I'm really frustrated with all of these reimaginings, because you can't even call it a reboot. These reimaginings of these shows where people were in their 20s and the concept of the show was a very specific concept. It was about people in their 20s living in New York City and dating and working and what their lives looked like. And that is a very specific thing. It's the same way, like, A Different World was very much about people in college. It is
Right.
okay to keep the concept as what it was and
Right.
leave it there and say we had a good thing and now there are other things. Now, if these people want to come together to make another show, whatever. But I just don't feel like we need to build something else off the back of something that ended 20 years ago or
But they
however long it
say,
was.
but they say a midget standing on a giant's shoulders could see much further than a giant.
I don't think we're supposed to say that.
It's a Jay-Z line and it's a joke, but you're right. We're not supposed to say midget in 2025. Okay, fine. I apologize for being insensitive. I'm just trying to make jokes.
All right.
Swing and a miss.
Thank you.
Swing and a miss.
So,
All right, but if they
all right,
did
what
living
do you think?
elderly, you not down for living elderly?
No. No. I
Nah, I knew
honestly
the
would
answer was no.
prefer
I just fucking with you.
I would prefer less to see the entire cast on a show and maybe like give me, if you want to use the same concept, I would want to see them focus on maybe a couple of characters, like are if Sinclair and Overton are still together. I think well, and I don't
So
even
you want
know
to do
because
like what they doing with different world.
yeah, but I don't even like I honestly wish they would leave it alone.
Me too.
I don't want them to do anything.
I think it was great. It had a great run. Let it just stay there.
Yeah. Let it just continue to be great as it is, because again,
Yeah, we
as
don't
I
gotta
said, we
mess it
still
up
watch
like
it.
Jay-Z dropping another album. You know what I'm saying? Like, bye.
Good luck to us all. Um yeah, I mean that's it. So you think it should stay the way it is? Okay. But I will listen to this podcast.
And you should. You're a fan. It sounds like they're gonna have some cool behind the scenes stuff and good times and sad times and times, you know. And so it's the best of times, it's the worst of times, that kind of thing. And I think that's cool for those who are still emotionally tied to the show and want to know what's going on with the cast and want to hear all that behind the scenes stuff. I think that stuff is great. It's like when you get the DVD and you watch the bonus features. And these are the bonus features 30 years later. I think it's
Yeah.
cool. I'm
Yeah.
not the biggest Living Single fan. I saw it as a kid in pieces. So I don't have any ties to it. I'm not against watching it from start to finish. That's a cool project. I don't mind taking that on. But I don't even know where Living Single exists on the internet. Like,
Hulu.
it's on Hulu.
You should
I
watch
might
it.
have to start Living Single then,
Yes.
so I could come
Yes.
up here and give y'all season by season review. You know what I'm
Oh my
saying?
gosh, yes. I will rewatch it with you. Like
Yeah,
in
I might have to do
succession.
that. I need a show to watch anyway, so I might have to do that.
I love that. I love
I
that.
mean, yeah, but wait. Hold on.
I think it's
How many episodes is one season? Because, you
well,
know,
it was the 90s, so
no, I don't got 24 episodes for y'all. Like, it's too much.
but it's a sitcom. The episodes are short. They're less than 30 minutes.
Fine.
No, we should definitely I love this idea. It's 5 seasons. I think the last season is really short.
What did I do?
I don't even know what to say to you right now.
All right, let me get out of here. Let me start now.
The first season is the first season is 27 episodes. But remember, it is a sitcom, which means the episodes are probably...
I'm definitely gonna fall asleep watching this. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It don't matter how entertaining it is. 27 episodes. You know, because you know what happens. You get in a good rhythm, and you be like, all right, let me watch one more.
Yeah.
And then you wake up like this. Let me show you. You wake up like this.
Right. You could probably watch like 3 episodes in an hour, especially if you're watching it commercial free.
You wake up like, what? What's going on? I don't know what happened. This is about to be our artwork right here.
Well,
But
let
now
me
with me
smile
laughing,
big because sometimes one of us be
let me.
looking a certain way and the other
All right, hold
one
on. Go ahead, get it. Go ahead. Hold on. Let me look lost again. Hold on.
ridiculous. All right.
All right. We gave y'all enough entertainment.
We need to
We
wrap
outta
this
here.
up because this was like
We out.
this was the clown pod.
Absolutely. Straight clown behavior. We should just put a clown as our artwork. That's it. No, nobody else on the art. Just a clown.
Just a clown.
Confuse everybody. You'll be like, what is going on?
They will watch it. Anyway.
All right. I gotta go.
Let me go. Me too. I gotta work. Bless you.
I was trying to go before the sneeze came out. It didn't work.
It's okay.
All right, y'all. This has been Weeknights. We appreciate y'all. We will see you next week.
On Tuesday.
On Tuesday. Oh, we're not here Monday. For those who made it this far, we really appreciate you. If you made it through all of our shenanigans, we will not be potting on Monday. I have an important movie date with my dad, and I will not be here to pod. Okay, I will come back and review what.
Because you're saying it like you were the reason why we weren't gonna pod on Monday.
Man, why you telling our business?
I'm traveling.
Why you didn't let me fall on the sword?
Because this is ridiculous. You got a movie date with your dad. You have a movie date with your dad
my dad.
I am traveling.
But they didn't need to know that. This is ridiculous. I'm out.
I'm traveling. Okay, so we both have plans on Monday that don't involve the podcast. And we will be back on Tuesday to talk all things the Met Gala. because you know, Black Dandy and you know the boys are going to be showing out on Monday, so we will definitely talk about that on Tuesday, and whatever else we have planned. All right, well, I'm going to sign off since my co-host has left, and we will.
Let's go. End the pod.
All right, we'll see y'all on Tuesday.